I'm Drake. Welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. Today, we're going to actually be discussing practical magic, but more specifically, what do I mean when I say practical magic? Earlier this year, around New Year's, I said that this channel is going to go back to focusing more on practical magic. And I've actually got quite a few questions and emails asking me, what does practical magic mean? Um, so I thought that'd actually be a fantastic little topic. What does practical magic actually mean? Um, and I will definitely say that it could possibly mean different things to different people. Now, when I state it, when I say it, what I'm talking about is something practical, something simple, something easy enough to do in your day-to-day life and whether you're at work, whether you're at home, something that's easy to weave in to your week. All right, because we all live life, right? We all got stuff to do, and we all hear excuses. Well, I ain't got time to do magic. I can't practice because of this and 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 this. And there are people out there who said, well, if you really cared about magic, you'd make time for it. True, to some extent. There are many, many occult and magical practices out there that take hours, simply hours. And if you are looking at one of those, it can be hard to chip away at 4 to 5 hour per day practices for a lot of people, especially starting out. I know when I first started, if you told me I had to chip away 4 and 5 hours, and I'm barely able to get home and have time to shower and brush my teeth before I pass out. Whether hopefully I made it to the bed. Sometimes I actually fell asleep on the floor. Hell, one morning I woke up in the bathtub. That was the life I was living, you know. Um, but so there are limitations. But to me, practical is something that can be done by anyone, anywhere, and would actually fit that terminology of, if it was important to you, you'd make time for it. So practical to me is as easy as a quick dinner or as quick and easy as brushing your teeth or just, having a fresh pair of socks ready to switch out if you need. It really is something practical. And this is an ideal I've used throughout my magical career. Whenever I was reading a book, whatever it may be, whether it be something from Silver Raven Wolf, whether it be something from Scott Cunningham or Buckland or Constanos or any of the other myriad of authors out there that I've picked up. And this even goes to later in my career when I started reading stuff Asimov Mason and the likes of them. I would always look at it and read it and ask, is this practical? Yes or no? And if the answer was no, then I was like, is there a way to make this practical? Right? And in truth, one of the things I liked about Norse magic was it was actually kind of practical, just standard bare bones of it. Some of the bloat rites and stuff, yeah, they get a little more intricate, but then again, you're not doing a bloat rite every day. Those are usually special occasions. Um, but practical magic was the thing. And I was working my ass off, like I said. So I needed something I could do quick and easy. There were days where the best I could do was to do a quick little working when I sat down for lunch. And that was the only time I really had. So I would grab whatever I'm going to eat for lunch and I'd do my working inside of 5 minutes or less, and I'd eat my food and get back to work. That was it. And I'm talking like I had maybe 15 minutes or so to do it all. Um, so my goal for a lot of practical workings were um, the shortest I would go is about 5 minutes. I do not like to do just a quick little and out most of the time. So I'd try to shoot for 5 minutes. 5 minutes easy to find. I know people who spend 30, 40 minutes on the shitter. They could do a spell working several times over on the shitter. Um, sorry to be crude, but they could. So there is places to find it, but practical meant for me it was something that was easily woven in and done. And most places I've worked usually gave me a 15-minute break. Even if I was working part-time and didn't get a full lunch hour, I'd get a 15-minute break, right? So if I could plug it in there, that'd be great. Um, And there's a lot of places I did find to do magic where, I was finding new ways to do it. Movement meditation was one of the things that opened up things. But to me, practical magic has to be something that can be easily woven into a busy life, right? Because people's like, well, if I got successful, I wouldn't be so busy. Wrongzo. Most people I know who are successful are busy. They might have better time management skills because honestly, my life has gotten busier and busier and busier. I have more time because my time management skills have gotten better. Um, but in all honesty, I'm busy just in different ways. I would actually say when I was punching a clock and passing out after work, technically speaking, I wasn't nearly as busy because other than the punching the clock, I had a lot of free time. It's just I didn't use my time well, and that left me exhausted in the long run. Time management's another thing. But as you get older, as you get wiser, you do learn to manage your time. Time management's a big one. But time management aside, I don't want to have to learn time management before I start magic. And when I use the word practical, yes, time management can help every one of us. But I think practical should work into everyone. All right. Even if you're young, haven't figured out time management, you should be able to do spell workings to help your life. That's practical to me. All right. That covers the time that we're going to need on practicality. Now, next, what is actual practical magic? Honestly and truly, I believe that practical magic is the magic that affects who where we are living here and now in perhaps the most tangible and measurable of ways. So, prosperity, health, jobs, it really, the bulk of practical magic affects the mundane material world. Okay. And that's going to sound weird because I'll be honest, the stuff that's usually not practical, astral travel, soul travel, um, dream work, those kinds of things that are becoming more and more popular, they don't fall into as much as the practical because most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, they do not yield measurable results that actually create a tangible change in your daily life. And a lot of people start using them as escapism. And escapism is the farthest thing from practical. Because if you're running away from life, if you're running away from your problems, if you're not seeking self-mastery, you're not seeking self-empowerment, you are running scared. And that is a problem. Now, I'm not saying those things can't be practical. I'm not saying that they can't produce results, but they're not the more practical methods of doing it. And usually for them to yield those results is very complicated and very difficult. And I've seen a lot of people get started in magic. They're like, I'm going to learn this thing, and they will waste 10 years trying to do it without actually taking the time to work on the world around them. Um, and if that's your path, that's your path. I mean, you choose what you do, right? But I'm also the person that's like, if you choose to do that and you don't choose to do the work on your life and then you complain about your life, well, you chose this. I don't want to hear you complain about this. Sorry. I'm just a bit of an asshat like that. But I do think that the bulk of practical magic should be something that actually can affect you and actually help you in your day to day. Now, I personally use a lot of the practical magic to this day on finances. I mean, if you watch the news and everything, the whole retirement concept, it's getting wishy-washy at best. A lot of us don't know if it'll be there. So, yeah, I got started late in life, but I'm trying to invest. I'm trying to build my own retirement fund separate from having to rely on anyone else. And I do use magic to help me do that. And thanks to magic, I'm doing pretty well. And that's important to me because, like I said, I got started very, very late in life. A lot of the tools that are available to people 18 now just weren't there when I was younger. And honestly, the knowledge was harder to find. I wish I had all the tools and knowledge now when I was 18. If I just had the tools, I'd have been better off. But hey, I got magic, so we're gonna make up the difference. I also use it for health. Like anytime I can. Hell, we all went through that pandemic thingy. Anybody remember that thingy? I don't know if we're allowed to mention that on YouTube or not, but that thingy. Yeah. I used magic going through that. Now, a lot of the things that people struggled with, I didn't because, well, I'm kind of a prepper guy. I had plenty of food. When the grocery stores were empty, I just went to my stores, my food stores and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I found the lockdowns annoying but fun. But at the same time, when it came to health, I was definitely using magic to make sure, my friends and family were well. I got plenty of family members that were actually in that risk range. So I was happy to use magic to help keep them well. I was also using magic to make sure those I knew didn't get sick, right? Um, so I was still using what I had to do the best I could do to help other people. Some person once noted that they was like, well, didn't you use magic to make sure you didn't get sick? Well, I'll be honest with you, I didn't. I really didn't because um I wasn't around anyone much. I really wasn't. Where I was at during that time, my wife was deployed. I was pretty much had a house to myself. No one was coming to visit, so I really didn't worry about me. My thoughts were always on someone else. Should I maybe worried about me? Maybe, but I honestly didn't get it until, well, it was way after my wife got back from deployment. Um, and to be honest, yeah, I didn't find it that bad. So yeah, I didn't worry about me. But I point is, I think the practical stuff is the stuff that can affect us here and now. Um, Over the years, I've done magic for many different things, and I've found success in all of them. Some of them practical, some of them not practical. But hands down, I think the practicals have been the better ones. And when I say practical, again, I mean those things that affect our daily lives. I do think those are the most effective for a few reasons, actually. As a new practitioner or a new magician coming into the practice or starting a new path, if we focus on the practical, if we focus on those things that are day to day, that are actually easier to measure, whether it's just increasing your gains at the gym, maybe it's helping you get in shape, lose weight, or whatever, or building your investment portfolio, or getting a raise at work, or getting a job. Um, or helping you find that rare trinket of whatever it is you collect. Maybe it's a Pokemon card, maybe it's a Magic the Gathering card, or I don't know, maybe it's a rare book. I know people collect books. My mom collects books. And you've been looking for this one and you use magic to do it. Magic can help, and I do still view that as practical, but those things show results far easier and they're far more tangible, which builds your confidence in your ability and helps you overcome doubt as you move into the more abstract, advanced arts. It really does. And that's a huge thing. So I really think practical magic actually has um, more than just the ability to make our lives better, it also helps to make us better magicians because it builds you up to that point and actually gives you something to measure on. I know a lot of people out there who they want to claim the title of high priest, high priestess, or an archmage, and they can't even pay their light bill. I'm sorry, I just don't see how that's magical at all. Like, if you can't manifest enough to pay your light bill or your rent, you really want me to take advice from you when it comes to improving myself? Yeah, no. I mean, from a spiritual side, maybe people get that. I'm not a spiritual guy. I stick to practical every day. So, yeah, different window on the world, I guess. But when I'm talking practical magic, I'm talking about the things we can apply, the things we do. If you look at this channel, I got a few videos on prosperity spells because those are very popular. But at the same time, I do think that kind of magic is important to anyone. I can't think of anyone who probably wouldn't want to improve their prosperity for one reason or another. And not all prosperity is just money in the bank. There's different forms of prosperity. Some people are just that way. Some people want to build their prosperity not in dollars. Perhaps they want real estate. And that's fine. I understand that. Some people do prosperity magic to upgrade a vehicle or to help them repair a vehicle they have or to just buy a new vehicle. You never know. Um, Prosperity can take on a lot of shapes. So those spells are very versatile. So going forward on this channel, we are going to try and focus more and more on some of those heavy practical things, um, be they what they may. And I'm hoping that everyone who watches this channel applies these and actually sees massive change in their life. In fact, if you look at our Mage Minded series, I would even say that itself falls into the practical magic concept, even though it's more of a magical mindset than spell work. The Mage Minded series is a very good example of just a practical thing, a slight shift in the way we think, a slight shift in the way we approach a problem, that can massively create change in our lives. There's been many times in my life where the biggest obstacle was me, and it wasn't hard to overcome. It was just like a tiny little click on a dial to alter my perception and how I was looking at a problem that actually just cut loose and overcome it. And if you'd have asked me before that change, it was just like a big, giant, massive dam that I could not break through. And my hammer was made of paper, wet paper at that. It seemed impossible, but that slight shift in perception, suddenly the dam disappeared and I'm just sailing down the river. It's weird to think about. Even to this day, it amazes me how that slight view of perception can really alter the way we perceived in life and overcome obstacles. But that is one of the reasons I love that Mage Minded series is we get to talk about those things and share those things in a very practical and applicable way. And that's something that you don't see much these days. Like it's something I used to hear all the time growing up. But now I'm talking to people in their late 20s, early 20s, 18s. They've never heard it. They have never heard it. And I think those types of discussions, it's sad that they've disappeared. Noticing they're starting to pop up a bit more, and I think that's a good thing. All right, so there you go. There's my viewpoints on what I would view as practical magic. It's the stuff. It is the that we can do, part of our daily lives, part of our weekly lives, and it actually creates a effect that betters us in our daily lives. And part of that, in my mind, is because if you are shored up, if you're taken care of, if you've got your needs met, maybe a little extra, I truly believe that also spills over into your community, which improves your community. And I think that's the best way to do it. I really do. Um, so yeah, there we go. I look forward to sharing more practical magic spells. We're also going to continue the Goetia series and all that. Also do join hold on. All right, God dang it. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Also we do have a new um Working Dragon Mystic community, and I'd encourage you to join us there. Perhaps come over there and even join as a paid supporter where you get access to all kinds of special perks and everything. It's a new site. We're learning it at this time, but it is up and running. We are ready to go. It allows you to engage with the community, and we are building a true community to be able to help discuss and problem solve and all that. So I'd encourage you to join us over there. There should be a link below this video. It says Working Dragon Mystic Community. Click that, pop over, and join us. All right. Until next time, everyone, I'm Drake. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.